So if you want to attract a man, a guy, a relationship, love, stability, security, satisfaction, fulfillment, joy, happiness, if you want a partnership,
that's easy.
Hey guys, I'm Jasmine with Manifest Fast with Jasmine. Welcome to my channel. And in this video, we're going to talk about how to change your energy so that the guy that you want will want you. This is what we're all after, especially if you know about law of attraction and manifesting. And it doesn't really matter what other stuff that you look up about attracting the guy that you want. It's about your energy at the end of the day. So a lot of you guys already know this. Lately on my channel, I've been trying to combine the idea of actions with the energy behind the action, because the energy behind the action is what manifests. I'm going to show you and tell you exactly, precisely how in this video to change your energy when you don't know how to change it, when you don't know what you're doing wrong, when you don't even have a clue about what you should be doing or what that feels like. I'm going to show you how to shift basically your concept of yourself, your dimensional reality that you're currently in, so that you can be in the dimensional reality where your end, the guy, the thing that you desire, comes to you easily. Because I know that, when you feel needy and desperate, and when you feel like you're not getting what you want, and when you feel like you're in lack, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense how to not feel that way, right? You have a hard time figuring that out. So that's exactly what we're going to cover in this video, how to change your energy so the guy that you want will want you. Make sure that you watch all the way until the end, because there's a lot of nitty-gritty details here. I'm going to explain everything, and this is really going to help you guys. And to be honest, probably 100% of anybody who wants to manifest a relationship, it doesn't even matter about gender. It doesn't even matter about any of that stuff, period. If you want to manifest a mate, this is going to be a really good video for you. But make sure that you don't skip out, that you watch all the way till the end so that you do understand all the details and how to apply it. But especially if you've been having a hard time, this is going to be a great video for you. So I have notes here, and I have to explain a little bit of how manifesting works and how law of attraction works. This is going to be a kind of different new explanation for you guys though. So the thing is, this is really, really hard for people to accept, but law of attraction is not fair. And I don't care if you call it law of attraction, manifesting, transurfing reality. I don't care what you think it is. It's not fair. It is a non-discriminate law, like gravity. Gravity is not going to stop or change in order to help you. Gravity is going to 100% be consistent all of the time, okay? It works the way that it works. It is non-discriminate, and there are no exceptions to it. The same thing is with law of attraction. People think that if I really, really, really want it, the universe will help me out. Well, I mean, if you have that belief that the universe is going to help you out, then the universe is going to help you out, because you now are vibrating at, oh, I'm going to receive that help, right? But what I'm trying to say is that law of attraction is not going to change for you. It doesn't care about your feelings. The only thing that is relevant to law of attraction is like attracts like. Make sure that you don't misunderstand this. You do not attract what you want. You attract unto yourself more of what you already are, more of the state that you're already in. So if you want to attract a man, a guy, a relationship, love, stability, security, satisfaction, fulfillment, joy, happiness, if you want a partnership, you want all of those things, you have to become that, as if it's already done. You have to feel the satisfaction that you would feel if you had that. So now that you understand that, here is the question though. How do you become something when you're in pain and when you're faced with circumstances and when you are where you are and you don't see a logical way out and you don't see a logical way to feel different, right? So how do I feel different when I don't feel different? And how do I reason with myself and honestly, sincerely get myself to shift my thoughts and my vibrations so that I can actually feel like I have something that I clearly don't have, right? That's the billion-dollar question. It's understandable. It's okay. Totally, everybody does this. When you feel in a certain way, it's difficult to perceive that you can feel differently. That is normal. This is why the Bible talks about heaven and hell being eternal states. Heaven and hell is here, okay? When you're in heaven, in your mind, you feel like, wow, I'm always gonna be on this track. This is amazing. Yes, and you can see how this is gonna be like an eternal, you could always keep this up, When you're in hell, in your mind, you feel like there's no way out. And so this is where the idea of shifting parallel realities comes into play, because you're not actually changing anything, you're just shifting realities all the time. That's the way that it is. There's no actual continuum. It is a parallel reality shifting, and that is the whole reason why everything is possible. You can manifest anything that you want, and it doesn't have to take any time. So how do you access the next parallel reality that you want to shift into? You have to perceive it and conceive of it in your mind. So we're going to get into how to do this when you're not there, when you just can't even perceive what it really is like to be over there. So here's all that you have to do. You don't have to perceive perfectly the entirety of everything that is fully in your end, because to be quite honest, your end unfolds and blossoms and becomes and evolves, and you are not going to know the full entirety of that manifestation. You're not going to know all of the qualities of it and all of the pieces of it and all the parts of it. And you don't have to. This is why the Bible talks about free will. Okay, so this is where your free will comes in. You literally don't have to have all the answers, because there's this really awesome design where everything that you want is known. It's a known fact between you and the universe, because you are the universe. There's no separation between you and anything else. Your desires, you don't have to conceptualize and articulate and define and figure out everything that you want. You can't possibly do that. Everything is vibrational, and you are emanating those vibrations of the desires that you want very clearly. You can't help it. That happens naturally. This is exactly the reason why you don't have to think about a specific thing in order to manifest it, okay? So like, you manifest specific things all day, every day that you don't even notice, right? You take them for granted. They come to you so easily. But a lot of these things you didn't even have to think about. Like, for instance, this is going to help you, like, when it comes to manifesting a person, a specific person or a specific relationship, because a lot of people think that if I'm not thinking specifically of it and creating it and doing all of the work, how's the universe going to know? Well, I mean, if you just know that, let's take food for example. If you just know that you're going to be fed, you're going to manifest a meal. It doesn't really matter what that meal consists of. Like, you don't have to specifically think about everything that you want that meal to contain. As long as you're manifesting in your energy, vibrational energy, satisfaction, fulfillment. Yes, I know I'm going to get a meal. I know it's going to be satisfying. I know it's going to be fulfilling. I know I'm going to like it. I know it's going to be an enjoyable experience. So what shows up? Filet mignon, mashed potatoes, and some vegetable that I never even heard of it before. You know what I mean? So you don't have to determine how those things are going to come. The how, and you guys already know this, the how is not your job whatsoever. That is a gift, okay? That means that we can just la-di-da-di-da, follow our joy, and go outside and take a walk, and have fun, and sip coffee, and talk with our friends on the phone, and enjoy life, and not have to worry about trying to manifest anything, and it just all comes to us anyway. So that's the beauty of it, right? So we have to get into that. So how do you get to a place where you are clearly not, when you don't feel like you have the ability to shift or move vibrationally? Here's what you do. Now that you know, you don't have to know all the answers. That was a long-winded explanation of basically, you don't have to know all the answers. You don't exactly have to know everything that's over there. You don't have to get it perfect, all right? You just have to have a willingness to go in the direction of what you want. You have to have a willingness to try. So what does that mean? There's something called manifesting states, okay? I think this originates with Neville Goddard teachings, manifesting states. He refers to it as a state, but this is like a really, really powerful teaching. So on my channel, I've taught a lot of God state, but let me break this down even further, because people hear God state and they just think that it's hard, and then they make it hard, and then it's hard for them, and it's like, this is so much easier. I'm going to break it down. All right, you're going to manifest the next step state. So if we're starting off here and you are just coming from this place where you feel a total inability to make any shift whatsoever, you feel a total inability to talk yourself out of feeling distressed or feeling urgent, or you feel a total inability to soothe yourself, you feel a total inability to believe or have any amount of faith or to shift yourself at all, here's what you're going to do. You don't have to change the way that you feel. Just imagine a version of yourself and what it would feel like if you were able to apply yourself in a different way and feel in a different way and be in a different state. I'm not telling you to try to imagine that you have the thing that you want. This has nothing to do with an external manifestation. All that this state has to do with is a state of being yourself, but a different one. So let's say that you have to feel what you want and be a match to that in order to bring it to you and manifest it to you. Instead of trying to be that, because trying never works. Because what's the seed of trying? The seed of trying is not there, not there. There's this stuckness. There's this, I'm trying because I don't have it. It's lack. So every time that you try to do something, that seed grows into more lack, right? So that's why sometimes people's lives fall apart when they try to apply manifesting tactics. So you're not going to try to become that. You're going to imagine what it would feel like and what it would be like if you did feel that way. If you did see through the eyes of a lighter perspective, a more calm perspective, a more stable perspective, a happier perspective, a more optimistic outlook. What if you had a different demeanor? What if you were doing all of the things that you know that it takes to do in order to manifest the thing that you want? So in a sense, this is what God state is, because God state says, I know how to manifest everything that I want. I know exactly how to manifest the thing that I want. So you're going to imagine a version of yourself. Remember, we've got all these different parallel realities and dimensions, and there's literally infinite versions of you that you can come in and out of at any point in time. It's infinite. So you manifest different versions of yourself just by thinking of it, just by perceiving it. The feeling is real. It manifests. So you have to tap into what that actually feels like in order to make manifesting a new state or anything work. What happens when you try to, instead of just manifesting the state that manifests the thing, that's what you're doing. You're manifesting a state of you that in turn would, if you were vibrating at that, manifest the thing that you want. And then you automatically become that. You automatically start becoming that person and doing those things and feeling the way that does manifest the thing that you want. So this is a really easy, nice little shortcut. And I call it manifesting the next step state. So what's the next step that I would need to do in order to go in the direction of manifesting this thing, in order to know that I am on track and alignment with it? Manifest that. Now, once you get there to the next step state, you're going to have a new vantage point, and you have a totally new ability to conceptualize of the next step state from where you currently are then. You see? So it's like stepping up a ladder or following the breadcrumb trail. It always goes like that. So once you reach the next state, you will actually go backwards, become stagnant and go backwards, and you'll lose momentum if you're not continuing to move forward. So once you get to that next step state and you're there, your ability to conceive of what the fullness of the manifestation is that you're after, your ability to conceive of that, to perceive that, to feel it, to conceptualize that is going to be enhanced, and it's going to be different. You're going to be more involved. It's going to be more real to you, okay? So from there, you are going to notice that. You're going to notice that there's clarity of conception has occurred. I'm much more clear about where I want to go and the thing that I want, and I feel much more connected to it. So from there, you're going to continue focusing, dreaming, basically. Dreaming. And I say dreaming because it's very easy, it's very light. You're not trying to manifest anything here. You manifest it simply by entertaining it. But if you're trying to manifest something when you think of it, then you're trying. That doesn't work. That's why visualization does not always work for people. What you really want to do, hopefully if you've made it this far into the video, you're like hardcore, like you're into it, you really, really want to know. So I'm just going to give you this example because I feel like this really illustrates what you want to do very well and how I want you to think about manifesting in the form of visualization, fantasizing, and imagining. The problem is that most people, they imagine it to try to make it happen. They imagine it, try to make it happen. I have to stop myself and make sure that I'm coming at my visualizations and my fantasies from the right energy, that I'm not trying to make something happen, that I'm simply entertaining it. It should be the art of like fantasizing. It should be exactly like the purpose behind watching porn. So I know this is funny, but it's exactly this. What is the purpose behind watching porn? The purpose behind watching porn is to enjoy that fantasy in the moment. To enjoy that in the moment. That's it. You're not trying to make something completely unrelated in the future down the road happen. You can be completely enveloped in the fantasy now. That's the point. It's for entertainment purposes only. Okay, it's for moment-to-moment enjoyment purposes only. It's because it feels good in this moment. So that is exactly how I want you to do your conceptualizing of, what you want, and fantasizing about it, imagining it, enjoying that visualization. That's exactly the way that I want you to approach it. It's purely for the enjoyment in the now. Now, it's really, really fun when you get to that next step state, and there's new qualities and more clarity around the thing that you want. I love when those energies come in and you can feel it more and it feels more real and you're closer to it and you're relating to it more. It feels more real. The more real that something feels, the more that it is actually real. The feeling indicates how solidly real that it's becoming. So when you get yourself into that next step state, you're going to notice that. Take notice of that. And when that idea comes to you, when those clarifications come to you, when those enhanced engagements with the visualization comes to you and you can feel it more, notice it, enjoy it, go with it. But there's a time, like it comes in waves. There's a time when it's right for visualizing and there's a time when it's not right for visualizing, like sometimes it's time to like let the whole thing go and just follow your joy and have fun and do nothing related to manifesting. You're just enjoying your life. And in fact, that is what allows your manifestations to come faster, because what are you doing? You're allowing them to come. You're not in the way. You're not creating difficulty by trying to be too overly focused, because that would indicate that, oh, this is hard, I need to try. No, you don't. It's not hard. You don't need to try. When the visualization naturally comes to you, you enjoy it, the feeling naturally, the appreciation naturally comes to you. You don't have to try to be there all the time. Allow things to shift and move. Just make sure that when you get to that next state and when you're like, what would be like a next thing that I want to implement now? Whatever it is that you need to do, maybe you just want to manifest yourself into a more stabilized state, a more confident state, a more happier state. Okay, so imagine yourself being more of those things, being in the way that you want to be, being in a way and doing all the things that it would take to ultimately manifest this thing that you want to manifest. So that's very, very powerful. Manifesting states is so much easier and so much faster than trying to manifest the ultimate object or ultimate manifestation that you're after. All you have to do is manifest a version of yourself who does everything that it takes that would in turn manifest that thing that you want. Because think about it, if I go for the gold and I'm trying to manifest the lottery, or a person, I'm trying because I don't have it. But if I just allow myself to get enveloped in the idea of being a different person who gets everything that they want, that's the gold, baby. So this is a very easy way that you can use to move yourself. Another thing that I've been implementing that if you're still watching, that means you're super hardcore and you really want to know all the nitty gritty, and I'm going to give it to you. This changed my life in 3 days, you guys. I'm just going to give it to you like really, really quick because I'm going to talk about this a lot more. I'm going to be doing seminars on this in my new coaching group. For those of you who don't know, I have a coaching group. We do live calls, live Q&As on Zoom every single week, and I'm going to be doing courses in there and live seminars, and I'm planning them all out. And I also do unlisted videos in that group, plenty of them. It's just like a really amazing group. So that link is going to be below if you want to join. It's a coaching group for a super low, affordable price. People have been telling me that about the amazing value, and I agree. But anyway, here's like a really quick little tool that you can use if you're in pain. If you're in pain, of course, you don't want to be in pain. Now, you want to try to manifest a state, but this will actually help you to sort of bridge that gap, right, to get there. It doesn't matter what you're feeling. It can't mess you up, right? So don't be afraid of that. So actually what I want you to do is, even if you feel bad, and if you feel bad, this is probably the best tactic that you could use to sort of neutralize that and make sure that you're not manifesting anything based on that feeling. If you get involved in a feeling and you're caught up in the story of that feeling and you feel bad about feeling that and you're resisting it, you will create a momentum around that and then attract more based on that negative feeling, which is what we don't want. So in order to counteract that and neutralize that and transcend that, you're going to be okay with feeling whatever you're feeling, even if you feel bad, even if you feel needy, even if you feel urgent, even if you feel disheartened and like a failure, even if you feel like nothing works for you, you're not going to get what you want, no matter what it is that you feel. First of all, be okay with it. Okay, I accept that. What am I accepting? I accept that I feel this way. I accept that that just happened, that I'm noticing that I feel that way. Okay, I accept that. Sit with yourself and be okay with feeling the way that you feel without trying to change it, without having a problem with it, without judging yourself for it. That's love. That's love, you guys. When you sit with yourself in acceptance, no matter what, and you're really not resisting, you're content to just be with yourself in that, you are now loving yourself. And what is the seed of that? Think about it. The seed is love and acceptance. And that seed grows when you practice this practice. You can practice this. This is like a meditative practice that I do throughout my day, every day, all the time. This is like the bee's knees for me. Changed my life in 3 days when I started doing this. And I guarantee that if you do it in the same way that I did, the same way that I'm telling you to do it, where you're doing it all day, every day, you're reminding yourself to just be okay with it. Be okay with it. Forgive that. Be okay with it. Accept it. Be with yourself. So you're applying this to yourself. You're applying this to all of your stories and feelings and words that are happening in your mind, which means you're separating yourself from the stories instead of getting wrapped up in it unconsciously. And then you're also applying this to whatever people that you're thinking of that are involved. You just accept it. It's okay. And if you're unable to feel any better, because this isn't about feeling better, let's get that right. You know, because if this was about I need to feel better, then I need something that I don't have would be the seed of that. So it's not about needing to feel better or having to or trying to. This is about releasing resistance, and it's it's like the simplest way to do that. You will notice that this might not make you feel better or change significantly how you feel in that moment or cure you of anything magically. But you will notice there is, if you're in a lot of pain, there is a slight relief involved in simply being okay with everything as it is instead of feeling like you need to resist it or change it or do something about it or be different. There is a relief involved in that. So if you're at that point where you're in a lot of pain, but you're able to sort of sense that relief that comes with the acceptance and the being there for yourself and just being the love, right, in the situation, being the acceptance in the situation, being still and at peace in the situation as it is, I want you to focus on that, as slight as it may be, and it might not be slight, okay? But if it's even slight, I want you to focus on that sense of relief, because as you make that your new habit and your new focus, that shit is going to grow and fast. I'm telling you, go with this and do this. Now, if you are not feeling very, very bad and you apply this, you are going to really be able to see a lot more progress or a lot more response or a lot more positive feelings involved in this process. Even if in the moment, like, you know, you're having a lag and you apply the process, but you can apply this to things that even when they're not that bad, you know, like you can apply this to minor things and it can shift you really quickly because you're practicing non-resistance, and that's what's building momentum. If you're still watching the video, that means that you liked it. So make sure that you click the like button below, click the subscribe button, click all to receive all notifications, because on my channel I do premieres, and that means that you can see what videos are coming out and when, and you can set a reminder to watch them so that when they come out, you'll be notified and you'll be able to join in the chat box and chat with me live while we are all watching the video for the first time. So that's really fun. So make sure that you're setting all your reminders. And a lot of you that are watching my videos and you enjoy my videos, you just forget to subscribe. So make sure that you subscribe, click the like button, okay? If you want to join my new coaching group, that link is going to be in the pinned comment below. I also have coaching and courses for you guys, so you can check out those links below. Here's a playlist that I recommend for you guys if you want to learn a lot more about manifesting the guy that you want, the person in the relationship that you want. Don't forget to subscribe.
That's easy.